This here is a Sunset Model 280 Santa Fe. When I purchased this unit, the gearbox was a mess. The gearbox right here, the screws that you now see going through the entire gearbox on both sides are what you call bolts with nuts on the opposite side. And the reason that I did this is because one was stripped out. The other thing that had happened to the unit was that the screws that threaded into the bottom of the unit, as you can see here, these studs that are sticking out, were stripped out. Now, there were not studs in there before. There were actually screws that screwed into an L bracket soldered to the side of the gearbox. Each L bracket on each side of the gearbox was soldered to the opposite side of the gearbox faceplate. Well, the gearbox L brackets were stripped out on one side and messed up on the other one. But anyway, what I did, because one of them actually came loose and fell apart, is I put a nut on the back side. These are 080 nuts. I mean, not nuts, but bolts that I put through the L bracket in place of the threaded portion of the brass. And when I put the unit back together, I clamped the L brackets on both sides in place with a 3-inch set of vice grips. I then put solder paste on there and a little extra solder and resoldered the connections with the nuts, the bolts in place. This gave me a permanent fix for the stripped out portion of the the holes that were threaded in the L brackets. Now I have studs there. I intend, if you'll look at these, you'll notice that they're still sticking out quite a bit, and they will be cut back and then filed smooth to be out of the way of operation of the train. And now I basically have a bulletproof, from one perspective, bulletproof gearbox, meaning that everything can be disassembled and reassembled as many times as you want, and the screws or bolts and nuts necessary to keep the unit in operation are always available, at least for now, from Walthers. They are the ones that are going through the gearbox from one side to the other are 080s, or no, 072 bolts and nuts, and they have been put in opposite side. You can see that this side is a nut and that this side is the bolt, and it is threaded into the opposite side faceplate, and then a nut is placed on there to back it up. So even if the threads in the faceplate themselves strip out, I can always put this unit back together with the outside nuts. The inside nylon idler gear is in excellent condition, and so is the gear on the drive axle. So this unit is ready to be put back together. I have some surgical tubing that I'm going to try and use to replace the drive shaft linkage between the motor and the gearbox drive gear or worm gear. If that is successful, this unit will return to the track. Upon its operation and finding no problems with its mechanism after that, I intend to convert it to DCC with sound, and hopefully I'm going to have me a really nice loco. This is just to update where I'm at on this build, or which I would say repair. This is a Sunset Models 280 Santa Fe 280 Sunset Models Santa Fe.